Okay, guys, welcome. Since we've been working on graphs, you guys, I'm going to do a different one today. This is called a broken line graph. This one is more of the traditional graph that maybe you guys have seen, but a couple things I want to go over. The same thing you want to do is look at the title of this graph, and that's right up here. And this says historical gold prices from 1993 to 2012. So what that tells you is we're going to be looking at gold prices for about a 20-year period. Okay. And there's two other things I want you to see on this graph. So most graphs, other than a pictograph, have two lines. They have a X and Y axis. And the X is the one that goes horizontal side to side. And on this graph, the X has the years of the gold prices. And the Y goes up and down. And on the Y axis, it's prices in US dollars per ounce. So you can see this graph is going to show us the year and what the price of gold was during that year. And gold goes up and down. So you can see just by looking at this in 1993 and then all the way in 2013, you can see that gold has really gone up in price. Okay. And one thing to keep in mind too here is this is the only years we list, it's every 2 years. Sometimes that's how the graphs are. So you can see between 1993 and 1995, 1994 would be right in the middle, but it's not listed. And similar up here, you start at 0, then you go to 2, 4, but there's a line in between that would be, the $100, $300, $500, $700. So sometimes it goes in increments of 2, maybe it's 3, and the price in between just isn't listed, but it's still there. Okay, so when you see a graph like this, you're going to look at the x-axis, which is sideways, and we're going to say, okay, on the x-axis, this has the years, and the y-axis is the one that's going up and down. You're going to look at the price in US dollars per ounce. So for each ounce, that's how much for 1 ounce of gold. It's going to tell you how much money it was worth in each individual year. Okay, so this one we're going to start. If we look at the first question, you're going to see in 1993, gold was about $400. Okay, and then the next year you can see in 1994, it goes down just a hair. So what the first question is going to ask you is, in what years did gold decrease in value? So what we're going to have to look at is we're going to pair the dot on the left, the dot on the right. So in 1994, it went down. 95, it stayed the same. 96, it went down. 97, it went down. Then you can look here, 98, yeah, it stayed the same. 99, stayed the same. 2000, it went down. 2001 stayed the same. Then from that point on, gold starts going up significantly. So in what years did the gold decrease in value? We're going to look at, so you're going to write 1994, it went down. 1996, it went down. And then 1997 went down. And then in 2000, it went down. You can see this little thing, it went a little bit below. So anytime the dot is below the dot next to it, that means that the price of gold went down. Okay, so those are the years. We'll do it again. It's going to be 94, it went down. In 96, it went down. 97, it went down. In the year 2000, went down. Okay, so the next question, in what year do you think the price of gold will reach $200 per ounce? Okay, so this is how much basically it is. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000, 1,200, 14, 16, 18, $200 an ounce. Okay, so it starts at $400 an ounce in 1993. So what year do you think the price of gold will reach Oh, excuse me, it's $2,000 per ounce. Okay, I forgot that zero, so I'm sorry. So you're going to look, so right here, if we look at 2011, then 2013, it went up about, we take 2000, went 1600, then 2013, it went up to about 1800. So it's going up probably about 1350 to 1650. So every 2 years is going up $350. So last year we have is 2013 at 1650. So every 2 years is going up $350. So we're probably going to say 2015. If we did this out, it'll probably reach $2,000 an ounce. So where my mouse is right here. So probably 2015, 2016, it'll probably reach at the rate it's going. It'll probably reach $2,000 per ounce. Let me just double check. I think that's what it's going to say here. Based on the graph, the next 5 years. So I said 2015. It gives you a 2018, but you can see the way the price is going, it's definitely going up. So somewhere out in here, like 2015, 2017, it's probably going to get to $2,000 an ounce. Okay. And you can see that since, what did I say, since 2001, gold has been going up. So the last 12 years, it went from, if we just look at this, it went from about $350 an ounce to where it is now on this graph. In 2012, it's almost $1,750. So it's gone up about $1,400 in about 12 years. So it's going up a little more than $100 a year since 2001. Okay. So the next question, you guys, it asks, in what 3 years did gold increase the most? So you're going to look at, you're going to compare two dots, and you're going to see where on this axis here, the y-axis, where the biggest jump was. So you're going to see right here from 2009 to 2011, it went up from $1,000 to almost $1,350. So that's almost $350 in that 1 year. So that year, you're going to say from 2009 to 2011, it definitely went up. And then also this year right here from 2008 up until 2009, there was a big jump. And see the other one. You're going to say probably from 2006 to 2007, it jumped from 650 almost up to 950. So when it asks you when it went up the most, you have to compare, or it went down the most, you're going to compare two dots on the graph, and whatever has the biggest gap, whether it's going up or down, that's how you're going to decide where. And this one's asking went up the most. So you find the two dots that have the biggest space between them. And remember the money dollars over on this axis, which is the y-axis. So you're going to look at the biggest jump on the y-axis, okay? So if someone bought $20,000 of the gold in 1993, how much would it be worth in 2011? So in 93, it was worth about $400 an ounce, okay? In 2011, that $400, it'd be worth almost $1,450. So if we go down here, you're going to see so 2000 would have bought 50 ounces of gold in 1993, and it's worth 1,531 in 2011. If you go up to 2011, it's worth about 1,550. So you just multiply the 50 times how much it's worth in 2011. Okay, and this is, you guys, I know it's 1,531. You really don't have to get into, you can just round to like 1,550 something like that. You don't have to worry about getting the exact number. And the last question, that was the last. Oh, this one says, what was the approximate price of gold from 1997 to 1999? I skipped that one. So on here, you're going to look at 1997 to 1999. So it was worth probably about $350 an ounce. So it said about $300 an ounce. Okay. So that's basically when you get a line graph, you're going to basically, like I said, the first thing you want to do is look at the title. It's going to tell you what gold prices were from 1993 to 2012. So we're looking at gold for about a 20-year period. And on the axis, it goes up and down. That's called the y-axis. That's where the price of gold is going to be. And on the x-axis across, it has the years. So let's just look at one more real quick. And this is, if we look at the title, it's estimated world population from 1900 to 2000 by decade. And a decade is every 10 years. Okay, so once again, on the y-axis, up and down, it's got the population in billions of people. So we have 0, 1, we go all the way up to 9 billion people. And then on the x-axis, we have the years, the decades, so 1900, 1910, 1920. And looking at this, you can see probably in 1950, our population, the world population, really, really starts to go up. Okay, so what you're going to do here, so the first one, estimate the population of the world in 1970. So you're going to look at 1970, you're going to go up, and you'll see the red dot there, and that's at about right about 4 billion people, excuse me. So 1970, the world population was about 4 billion people. Okay. And what decade did the population increase the least? So if you're just going dot to dot to dot to dot, so from it's probably going to be early, obviously, from 1900 to 1910. It went from maybe 2 to 3, and then from 1910, it went from, 2, a little below 2 to just about 2. So I think it's going to look between 1910 and 1920 is you're going to see the smallest increase. Those lines are the closest together. Those dots are the closest together, excuse me. Okay. In what decade did the population increase the most? And that's where you're going to look at where the lines furthest apart. And it's going to be when the population starts really going up. So if we look at 1970, it was probably about a little under 4, and then 1980, it goes up to 4.5. So that's maybe 500 million people. 1980 to 1990, it goes from 4 up to 5.5. So that's probably 1.5 billion. 1990, it's at about 5. In 2000, it goes up to about a little over 6. So I think right here, 1980 to 1990, you're going to see the biggest increase in population. These two dots are the furthest apart. Okay. In what years did the population reach 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 billion? Okay. So for the first one, we're going to go over to this up and down axis, the y-axis, and just look where the dot hits 2. And that's going to be right about here. That'd be 1930. Okay, then for 3 million, we're going to go up this up and down axis, the y-axis, go all the way over, and it hit 3 in 1960. What about 4? 4 hits right about 1980. 5, it hits, that's a little bit below right there. So you're going to have to go to 2000. And then by 6, it's going to reach it in 2010. So in that question, you're just looking at, you're going up the y-axis, this one right here, and just seeing where the dot goes above the 2 million mark, the 3 million mark, the 4 million mark, the 5 million mark, and the 6 million mark. Okay. And this one, what are some of the effects of a growing world population? So that's not based on the graph. It's just based on something that you think what happens when more people are in the world. You could say something, maybe more pollution because more people are driving cars, maybe food shortage because, there's more people and maybe not as much food. You just have to kind of make a judgment based on something that you think is happening from the population getting larger. Okay. So what I'll do, you guys, I'll go ahead and post another one of these broken line graphs so you can practice, and we'll pick this up again. We'll do these broken line graphs for a couple days, just like we did the picture graphs for a couple days. All right, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.